John Gotti loves gold. And that's what we're fighting for. This is Monday, Debate Amongst Friends. Doc Lee's here, the podcasting beast with the Professor John Gotti. The king of RNG, yes. The conqueror, yes. All of the above. The Terminator, yes. The cleaner. How you doing, sir?
Blah, 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 apparently.
I just
Because
wanted to
I
go
am
ahead.
the wise man for your reigning, defending, undisputed podcasting world champion of the world, of the universe, of the galaxy, Los Tranquilo himself, Doc.
Wow. See how that works? I'm doing good though. How you doing there, boy?
I'm feeling pretty good, man. You know,
And you should be
shout
good. You should be
shout
really
out
good.
shout out to Sonic for helping me out for some breakfast this morning, by the way.
Sonic,
This is
wow.
not
That's
an
interesting.
advertisement.
That's not an advertisement. That would be pretty awesome, but that's good, man. Congrats on the Sonic. It's been a long time. I live in Durham
Yes.
now, of course, so Sonic's in Raleigh, and I'm not going to Raleigh for Sonic.
Yikes.
But let's jump in really quickly, man. We had NCAA football. Before we get to the top five, I wanted to talk to you about the ACC championship, Pittsburgh versus Wake Forest. Just one play in
Uh-huh.
particular that I
Because that's the
think,
only play that people really cared about, honestly.
yes, I think this could change the course of quarterback protection forever.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the fake slide by the Pittsburgh quarterback.
The
Obviously,
okey
Pittsburgh
doke.
won. Yeah, Kenny Pickett from Pittsburgh
Yep.
um, faked a slide and then kept running for a touchdown. Fair or foul, bro? I don't think that's fair. I think that should be a penalty moving forward.
They want some nasty.
That's
Pickett wanted to
that's
chew them out. He chewed them out.
I don't know. That's crossing the
I
line. I'm not sure.
I feel like that is a morally gray area. We talk about that a lot in basketball.
Hmm.
Morally gray area where yes, we want to protect the quarterbacks, but if the quarterbacks are able to do that,
Right. That changes everything.
that like just throw the rule away.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I don't
Because
like.
that
I
could
didn't
be the
like that.
difference between them barely getting a first down to that turning
Facts.
into a 60-yard run.
Exactly. So
Because now imagine if a quarterback can do that like three times
facts.
in one run.
And then that one time where you don't hit him, right? He takes
Exactly,
off, but then you do, and
well,
then
and as a defensive player, you now have to try to explain that to your defensive coordinator
right, right,
or your positions coach why you didn't lay down the hammer. Like, well,
right.
what do you want me to do? If I do this, I may end up getting kicked out the game.
Facts, big facts, big facts. But I just want to touch on that, man, really quickly because I felt like it was just one of those things that just stuck out like a sore thumb.
No,
Um,
sometimes sacrifices have to be made.
Facts, big facts. But in other college football news, we had the top four. The playoffs are set. We had some
The New
great
Year's
games.
six are set.
Yes, the New Year's Six are set. The new number one Alabama taking down Georgia in the SEC championship, which we kind of mentioned and talked about. Would they flop? Or like would they switch? Would Michigan go up? Which I thought would have happened. I thought Michigan would have went up to number one, which I think they deserved.
Which I thought they deserved.
Yeah, beating Iowa 42-3. They should have went up to number one, and we should have had that rematch between Alabama and Georgia
This is the
at the
first time
playoffs.
Alabama looked good in the past 3 weeks. Can
Right,
we
and
agree to that?
we can, and I said this off the stream, but Georgia's pass rush just didn't look good.
Nope.
Um, they looked pedestrian at best, and it
I
just
can
was
agree
no
with that.
good. But shout out to Alabama. Bryce Young looked great, 421, 3 touchdowns, no picks. I mean, it just looked like a better team. They looked like they were ready to compete for a national championship.
And that's the part that's scary because we know that they could be really, really good, but it
Hmm.
was either they played below the competition or they just had struggles. And, that was
Mhm.
some of the things that Nick Saban was talking about, and of
Right,
course he had to get his last word on the critics, because I believe Georgia was favored by 6 in this game.
right, right. And lastly, I mean, we had Cincinnati handle Houston 35-20, and we
I
were all
watched
worried.
Yeah, I watched that game. I was laughing myself off the couch.
Oh, I believe you. You know, we were all worried that Cincinnati would get be booted for like Oklahoma State or Notre Dame, but
Well,
Oklahoma State
because
lost to
that's
Baylor.
entirely possible.
Of course, of course. But I mean, ultimately, it was a good week of football. We have, again, number one Alabama going to be playing number four Cincinnati, and Michigan will be playing Georgia. I don't agree with it, but if that's what the playoff committee or the college football committee wants to see,
Oh, well,
then
you have
that's
to
what we
remember,
see.
Doc, the college football playoff committee chairman stated yesterday that they had no rematch in mind between Georgia and Alabama. Sir, you are a bald faced liar.
Right, because
You
if that's the
want
case,
this
you would have put them
championship
in.
game to be a
Yeah,
repeat of the SEC championship game.
yeah,
I
because they could
know
have put
it.
them in.
Doc know it.
Yeah,
That person over there knows it too. Yes, even you, Chris.
yeah, they definitely could have put that in, and it would have been all good.
It would have been
Uh,
all good.
but I mean, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Obviously, those games are set. Let's actually jump over and you know what? Let's try something a little different. I know we usually go over all these games. Um, let's just shoot straight to Monday night. Let's give our predictions for Monday night first.
Okay.
We got New England. We got Buffalo. In Buffalo, this is huge as there are so many teams jockeying for position in the NFL, especially in the
In the
in
AFC,
AFC.
jeez.
Yes, but this is huge. New England versus Buffalo. This is pretty much for number one in that division, right? NFC, AFC East, excuse me. Who do you have, sir? This is a tough one. This is definitely a big time
This
trap, by the
is
way.
it's not even a trap. It's gonna be a great game.
Hmm.
I'm
It
gonna
is.
I don't want to do this,
I don't want to do it either. I don't want to do it either.
but I have to go with the Patriots. And I'm so sorry, Bills Mafia. I want to
Yeah,
pick the Bills, but Josh Allen has a tendency to throwing picks, and your offensive line has issues still. And you just lost Tre'Davious White for the
yeah.
year. I know that's not going to be a big factor, but
I think it will be.
New England has been clicking on all cylinders the past few weeks. I mean, they
Yeah,
are on the 6 game winning streak, but I don't care about win streaks. I'm talking about what they've done in the past 2 to 3 weeks, and they have been looking awesome. I have to go with the Pittsburgh. I have to go with the Patriots, man. I have to go
I'm
with the
gonna go.
Lily Lily Low.
I'm gonna go with the Patriots as well. I just think Mac Jones is clicking. New England has found their groove post Brady at this point. That's where we're at. You know, there was Brady, there was before Brady, during Brady, and now post Brady. And I feel like
That sounds real blasphemous to me, sir.
it well, as a Patriots, as I guess watching the Patriots, I think that's where they are. That's where they are right now, and I'm going to go with the Patriots. I think Buffalo has just been up and down. Bill Belichick probably watched that Indianapolis Colts film like crazy,
Of course.
and
Well,
he
I
said,
mean,
"Ah,
he doesn't just watch that; he watches all the games like
of
crazy.
course,
Yeah,
of
like
course." So what we'll do, we'll try something a little different, man. We'll go over all the games tomorrow, but I wanted to get your take on one situation. Obviously, they played yesterday. That was Pittsburgh and Baltimore, but there was news that Big Ben is talking about his
I don't
last
care. I don't
days, his
care.
last
I don't
season
care.
in Pittsburgh.
I don't care.
But they had a great game yesterday. That finally looked like Ben of the old. I'm not gonna lie.
You
That
said
looked
that
pretty good.
like 2 weeks ago.
Oh no, I didn't. I didn't say that. So I didn't think so. I don't know what that person was seeing. I didn't say that. Somebody else said that.
Okay, I was like,
Um,
'cause someone said that like two
yeah, somebody
like
did.
2 weeks ago.
Somebody else said
Like
that. I just
I
echoed
feel
it.
like whenever someone who's older, has a really, really good game, well, now this is the person of old, like this is vintage Big Ben.
And that's why I guess the anomaly of Tom Brady comes in because he hasn't had that drop off yet, which is kind of like maybe he can play till 50. You
Well,
know what I'm
and the problem
saying?
is like it looked like he had the drop off that last year with the Patriots,
He
but
did,
it
yeah.
turned out it wasn't that.
Right. It was something else going on. I don't know. It's interesting.
But
But
no, this
I,
isn't news to me because unless he actually says it,
mhm,
like reliable source saying that this has
yeah,
come out of his mouth, and I don't mean within the locker room, because you can say whatever you want in the locker room. Doc, you know this. You can say whatever you want.
it's true.
You can even say, "Hey, I'm the Muffin Man."
Uh,
Well, Doc Alilo, we heard that you called yourself the Muffin Man in the locker room. Could you speak on that? What are you talking about? I didn't say that at
wow,
all.
wow.
But you get what I'm saying.
No, I get what you're
Like
saying.
it has no weight behind it.
I agree. I agree.
Now everyone's
Uh,
talking about this is going to be the final ride for him and blah blah blah.
yeah, no, no, exactly. Yeah. Let's talk about really quickly. Let's move on from that. Let's talk about Joe Brady being fired from the Panthers after leaving LSU 2 years ago, or I guess last year, coming over to
Mhm.
the Panthers. Part ways with Joe Brady. Is that fair or foul? I think it's kind of foul.
I heavily think it's foul.
Sam Darnold struggled. I mean,
Yep.
obviously they started 3-0. Sam Darnold struggled, then he got hurt, and then
Yep.
you bring in Cam Newton, who is supposed to be,
I'm back. I'm
on
back. Get on the
exactly
bench.
on the bench.
I'm back. Get on the bench.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm curious as to why that happened so fast. I don't think they gave him a good
No, they didn't give him
shot.
a good shot at all. And I felt like once they brought in Cam, now the expectation is, well, now we're going to be like the Panthers of old. And,
Right.
Cam's going to lead us to the promised land. Well,
Has not happened.
obviously, since we had the bench Cam, it is obviously our offensive coordinator's fault.
Right, right. Which obviously we talked about it. The Giants went the same way, right?
Yep.
They fired Jason Garrett. Maybe this is Matt Rule's way of saying, "Hey, this isn't me. It's that guy over there. It's Joe Brady. Let's go ahead and get rid of that guy." Which is terrible. I mean, they're
but
five
it
and
but
seven.
it's foul though. It's absolutely foul.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I'm not really liking that part. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. I mean, obviously, I'm sure whoever they promote, which I didn't look to see who they promoted
No.
to offensive coordinator, but whoever they do promote will have a tough task. Obviously, I think the Panthers played better with Teddy Bridgewater, but then again, he got hurt as well. So Joe
Yeah, I
Brady's
mean,
had
and that's
that
the
being
problem.
the injured
Like
quarterback.
there's not much you could do as an OC if a player gets hurt, especially if it's your quarterback. What can you do at that point?
Right. And speaking of quarterbacks, the last thing really quickly here, the Philadelphia Eagles put in Gardner Minshew, and all of a sudden the media wants to say Minshew mania. MNF.
Because you know it's catchy, it's clickbaity, it's something that was happening when he's with the Jaguars, and Minshew mania running wild, brother.
Oh God.
Plus it's in the tri-state area too, which doesn't help out.
Yeah.
I
But I mean, we'll talk about this tomorrow. I
don't
mean,
know
of
if
course,
Philadelphia is part of the tri-state area. Not that I'm
I
very
don't
fine.
think
I
so
think it's
either.
Connecticut. I think
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
Connecticut, New York, and New Jersey. No one likes
yeah. We'll talk.
Philadelphia.
Facts. I mean, it's always sunny there, though. It's always sunny. Um, I don't know if and we'll talk about this tomorrow. If this can be something that we see for a long time. I mean, it's great that he came in relief of Jalen Hurts, but
Yeah,
they've already said that Hurts will be the starter when he comes back. But 20 for 25, 20 for 25, yeah, 242 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's a good look. We'll go over that Jets game, which they had a shot, so we'll definitely talk about that and
exactly.
more tomorrow. But Johnny, Lastly, this is really lastly.
You said that three lastlies ago.
Finally, Detroit Lions get their first win. Just want to give them a quick shout out on that
Give
one.
him
We
a
don't want to
quick
go
shout out.
without. Yeah, Detroit Lions with the
Shout
last
out
second
also
touchdown.
shout out to Tom Grossi who stated that back in early November that the Lions were going to beat the Vikings for their first win.
We didn't. We knew that they would get one. We just didn't know who was going to be. I would have never expected it
No.
to be the Vikings. So definitely shout out to him. But Johnny, I know the people heard this podcast on their favorite podcast platform. But if they didn't, they can always go to our website at www.debateamongstfriends.com to review this episode as well as all the previous. Be sure to tune in tomorrow as we go over all the Sunday games as well as the Monday night game, as well as all the news, the analysis, and the reads.
I'm back. Get on the bench cam.